When I think of northern Madagascar, I cannot help but think of water. Rains during the wet season. At times, the river gets so high that it merges with forest trails. Walking along these trails, through Madagascar's water landscape defines my time in this part of the world, conducting audits for the Rainforest Alliance. With community members, cooperative and village leaders, and their families, I trek from village to village, besides rivers and through forest, along the vanilla trail, where some of the most sought-after vanilla in the world is grown. I've come here on a mission to determine whether these isolated farms found in some of the world's most spectacular landscapes are complying with social, economic, and environmental criteria that are necessary for Rainforest Alliance certification. Madagascar is a biodiversity and priority conservation hotspot. 160 million years of evolutionary isolation hardly occurs anywhere else in the world. And between the vanilla farms, and especially along the ridges high above the villages, isolated islands of forest are the last refuge for lemurs, an endemic flora and fauna. This is one place where expanding into new forest can impact extremely rare species of wildlife and plants. So it is essential that vanilla farmers fully appreciate the complexity of the system and have the tools to conserve it. To live alongside this vanilla trail, to be part of it, requires the maintenance of finely balanced and intricately interwoven agroforestry systems and the social networks that support them. Vanilla grows beneath the forest canopy in and around other trees and shrub crops. This aromatic spice is in fact an orchid that originated in Mexico. There, its small flowers are pollinated by tiny indigenous bees. Here, it's hand-pollinated by community experts. To avoid damage, farmers carry the green pods out of the forest on their backs or by river. Other vanilla stays behind and is cured in homes so farmers can use it as cash income throughout the year. Due to poor soil fertility and problems, many of the hillsides I visited are poorly eroded. To ensure that their lands remain fertile, the communities are mapping remaining forest areas, figuring out how to connect forest fragments and stabilize soils with protective grasses. I am visiting Madagascar not only to evaluate farms in this water landscape, but to create a dialogue with community members. Together, we're figuring out what needs to be done to conserve these forested farmlands. Which trees need to be planted to hold water during droughts? Which food crops can be added to improve food security and to keep the hillsides fertile? The Vanilla Trail is not far from the rest of Africa or the rest of the world. The problems that communities face in Madagascar are problems that farmers face in Mozambique, Mexico, Montana. Farmers everywhere need to diversify their crops, conserve the surrounding forest lands, protect their soils, ensure a sustainable farm future for themselves, for their families, and for the global community. From the Vanilla Trail, this is Noah Jackson.